sure many of you who are anime fans out there, when you hear the words bad dub, you think of a lot of different shows. And if you're a fan of an anime that gets a bad dub, it feels like a big betrayal. But today I'm going to be talking about a more obscure anime and its dub. And it's probably one of the few anime that I've actually watched the dub for first before switching to the sub, so that I could understand what the heck was happening. Because yes, the dub is that bad. A very amusing kind of bad, I'll give it that. And I'm talking about Lost Universe. Have any of you out there seen Lost Universe? Sure, I think many of you would look at this and think, yeah, it's a run-of-the-mill Star Wars knockoff, before, of course, we actually had a Star Wars anime. But let me just say, I actually kinda like Lost Universe. Sure, it's not like the most well-put together story or anything, but I really think that they had something here with this concept. I kind of like the main characters, and I like the idea of these three friends just doing these really odd jobs in space, while also uncovering the mysteries of ancient technology. I like how the version of the lightsaber in this particular anime is actually a psi-blade. It's using psychic energy rather than just being a saber of light that anyone could pick up and use. And it kind of actually goes with, you know, lore that the Jedi actually had, because they had other psychic abilities, like with the taking over people's minds and then also telekinesis, you know, very psychic-based powers, but they just happen to wield a blade full of light. While as Lost Universe, you know, they take it the extra mile. They're like, nah, it's a psi-blade and only special people who have trained their psychic powers can use it. And that actually kind of makes more sense to me. There are genuinely, like, unique and fun things about the show like that. It's a Lost Universe, but not a lost cause. But if you start watching it by watching the dub, it might very well feel like a lost cause, because oh boy, the voice actors, the directing, the way that things are edited together. It is a prime example of people just phoning it in. Like, it feels like every take in this show is the first take that the voice actors got from just reading the line. We got the main character who sounds like some sort of squeaky Sonic the Hedgehog type.
I am the man! I
don't know why, but for some reason they just have the main character's voice crack all the time, and that's just how he talks.
Stan, what's your man? Go! Where's your game, guy?
He also uses like super dated terms like groovy or let's boogie.
Well, so much for that, huh? Let's boogie. Okay.
Which really shines a light on the fact that, hey, maybe we shouldn't use like very temporarily relevant slang in our dubs. Maybe that's a bad idea. And then we have like the AI holographic character who is this voice actress? What is going on here? Is she actually a voice actress? Was she just like the secretary and they were just like, come on, we need another voice for this character? What happened?
You can't just catch a ride with us like we're a cargo ship!
Hey.
Why does it sound like she always has cotton balls in her mouth?
You're so generous! That's why I love you!
Is this supposed to be like her idea of a ootsy cutesy voice? To like try to mimic the super high-pitched kawaii type voice? Whatever she's trying to do, it's not working. Like, every show has the like mini title card scene before you go to a commercial break, right? Now for the original anime, it's just like the music when the title screen comes up. But for the dub, they decided that the AI character should do like a cute laugh over top the music. So that's what the script said. It wanted the voice actress to just laugh. That was her job. That wasn't the best laugh, but don't worry. There's multiple takes. They use different laughs throughout the series, so one of them has to be good, right? Oh god. Alright, one more take. No. Keep laughing. We'll get it this time. Do Do another laugh. Do another laugh. We'll get it this time for sure. No, I can't take anymore. No, stop it. All the script said was laugh. There's no way she's a real voice actress. There's no way. How do you mess up laughing? Have you ever laughed before? And then we had the love interest, Millie. Millie's alright. Although most of her lines kind of are just comprised of yelling.
How dare you ignore me!
You know, to be fair, she is actually probably my favorite voice actress of the three main characters.
Millie?
What a surprise!
Wow, we didn't expect to see you here.
I hate my life!
She kind of reminds me of like the English dub voice for Asuka, where it's like she's not afraid to make kind of weird sounds with her voice.
What are you, stupid?
To give it a little bit more cartoonish character. I appreciate that, because really I do think that the directing is the biggest problem with the show in its entirety. It just feels like nobody cared enough to make this a good dub. Feels like there is no direction, quite frankly. Like nobody knows how they're supposed to deliver their lines. They're just guessing. And because of that, you have all these like really tone-deaf scenes.
I hate them! I don't believe this! They must die!
Like, there's a scene where the main character, Kane, tries to kill himself, and then they have, like, the most awkward tone-deaf scene where, like, his love interest, Millie, saves him.
Hey, Kane. You worried me! You're okay?
Millie.
Don't start playing the romance card with me, buddy, because it ain't gonna work this time. I brought you something, even though you made Canal cry. Here's my famous chicken ice cream. Here, eat it up before it melts. What's wrong?
Like, it's supposed to be an emotional scene, but I guess we can't have any of that. So we got poor directing, poor voice acting, bad translations, which is, I guess, to be expected. We even got ad-libbing. Ad-libbing. What is it with some of these dubs and the insecurity of just having a scene be quiet for a second? Why do you always have to add some, like, jokey, like, back talk?
ソードブレーカーは偽装発信機が役に立ってくれればいいが。望み薄だな。I hope the jamming beacon worked. It had a money-back guarantee. It had to work. I just know it. Yeah, it worked. It had to. Good.
Shut up! This is not what the scene is supposed to be. You are changing the scene completely. It's just a normal serious scene and then you're like, shut up! All of this just kind of plays into the fact that you really can't watch the dub and understand what the heck is happening because they just change every scene to be so laid back, so casual, that when it's supposed to get serious, when it's supposed to have these emotional moments, they don't come across at all. Instead, you just end up confused. And I think the best example of this is watching this one flashback scene. This scene deserves to be observed by scholars at film school. They need to take down notes about how badly the scene was ruined just by poor directing and like very poor scripting. It is magnificent how badly they butchered this scene to the point where it is pure comedy rather than being a serious emotional scene.
I could go anywhere in here. I could romp around in here forever.
Yes, you can. And you will, since this ship will be yours when my time in the sun fades to but a soft shadow, and I croak.
And I croak. Look, maybe there was no director to work on this show. Like, maybe the dude just wasn't doing his job, just didn't explain to you what the emotion was supposed to be when you were reading your line. But you know what death is, right? Like, you know that she's talking about dying just by reading it on the script. Could you have, like, maybe said that line a little bit more emotionally? And I croak.
When I grow up, you and I are going to have all sorts of great capers and space adventures, aren't we? Right, Grandma? Grandma, say something. Grandma, quit playing.
Like, what, did she die right there on the spot while she was standing up? The translation isn't even that far off. It's just like well, once again, they're ad-libbing, of course. And they're just like misinterpreting the scene entirely. Like, the reason why she's supposed to be staying quiet in this, after he says, like, when I grow up, I want to go adventuring with you, Grandma, is because, you know, she knows that she's not gonna live that long, and so she just doesn't know how to tell him in the scene. Once again, you know, the dubbers were insecure about letting a scene be quiet, so they made it like him ask, Grandma, Grandma, Grandma.
Grandma, quit playing. Grandma, say something. Hey, don't get around.
Say something. Why aren't you saying something? Are you dead right now, Grandma? That it actually looks like she dies right there in the scene instead of just not being able to tell him that she won't live that long.
Grandma? Hello? Grandma?
And then, like, what is that? What is that? You clearing your throat? Was that even supposed to be in the show? Was that just actually the voice actor clearing his throat? It's supposed to be like laughter, right? If you watch the original scene, this is a totally normal scene. Nothing is confusing about this scene if you watch the subbed version. But for some reason, in the dubbed version, Grandma just like dies on the spot and then he starts clearing his throat. He's supposed to be like thinking back on this time where he was innocent and he was a kid and he didn't realize that death was a thing. So he was just out there having fun with his grandma, thinking that when he grows up he's gonna go adventuring with her. And he's supposed to be like laughing at the end of this scene, but for some reason he's just and then it makes no sense when they wake him up from his dream and they were like, you were laughing and smiling the whole time. All this being said, for like a Star Wars knockoff with a bad dub, it has one of the best opening themes. Like, this shit actually kinda slaps. Well, if you're looking for new comics to pick up and read, definitely please check out burningstarcomics.net. This is my own comic publishing website, and we got a lot on there for you to choose from. Even more coming later this year. I know sometimes I seem like I complain a little bit too much about when something is written poorly, but I also like to push for things that I believe are written very well. And I think Burning Star Comics is a good melting pot of things that I believe are written well. So there's a bunch of fun, different genres of stories on there for you to read. Go check it out if you haven't already, link in the description and all that jazz. It really is fascinating, like watching the dub and sub back to back if you do want to see like just how different a lot of the translations and directing for a lot of these scenes are, because it really does feel like watching two completely different shows. And my recommendation would be, like, if you want a quick laugh, sure, watch the dub, but if you actually want to understand what the heck is going on and what they were actually trying to do with this series, please, for the love of God, just watch the sub. I don't think every dub is that bad, but this one definitely is. This one is pretty bad. It really is kind of a shame that it has such a bad dub with people who clearly didn't care about the source material, didn't care about making it good, didn't care about a scene just having the same emotional impact. They just made everything goofy everything lazy. Like, as bad as a lot of Funimation dubs can be if they're given to the wrong people, at least I still feel like they're kinda trying. This is a good example of a dub where they're just not trying at all. Nobody's trying, nobody cares about the show. I never grew up with Lost Universe, but I did kinda like it. When I started watching it, I was like, man, there are some like concepts here and there that they're actually kind of fun. There's something really fun about some space adventure series with these characters, but why is the dub so bad? I mean, I guess on the bright side, at least that theme song still slaps.
I'm old. I'm 73, going on something. What do I do now? Where am I? What happened? Where did I?
Program restart.